Hello and welcome back to Softcore History. I'm Jake Goldman and this is my last episode on the main feed.
Just go.
Just leave. Yeah, I've been a co-host on the show since 2020.
Do you want us to beg?
For me to leave?
Do you want us to plead?
I'm not fucking leaving. I wish I could give you that moment, but one, I'm not the leader. And two, I am fucking leaving. So
be honest.
You are kind of the leader. You have access to all of our financials.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. You guys were like, Goldman, he should do it.
We did. Yes,
that is the most important aspect of this show. Who cares? I mean, listen to any other podcast. The audio quality sucks. Video's not important. We do so many additional steps that aren't necessary.
That's very true. And you let
and
me
it
control
pays off.
Well,
for morale and pride.
Well, instant seg.
Hold on, I have to ask you a
okay,
question. Is this the kid's fault? Is this divorce the kid's fault?
What?
Like my children? Is it my children's fault?
Oh yeah. It's
1,000%.
It's your kid's fault.
I'm glad you acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Specifically Rory.
I knew this day was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, you hate Rory now too?
No, I don't. I actually love Rory.
Well,
the truth comes out finally.
If anyone, Dan's is like a bit, but you should like White Jake more than Rory.
I have a favorite of your children.
Yeah.
It's really easy to have favorites of other people's children more than it is of your own. But nah.
Oh, easily. There's been so many times I've been like, I like that one, but the other one is dog shit.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from me.
Exactly. But yeah, no, it is my last episode. But before we get into all that, pay these two guys. Get these two guys paid. We have a Patreon
/ Softcore History.
Yeah, you get extra episodes like the one coming this week, which will be an amazing feat of strength between these two Catholics.
It's a Catholic off.
It's a Catholic off. We have the what are they called? What are the kids that get molested called?
Altar boys.
Altar boys. We got the altar boys in the back. So we're gonna have
we
a
were
Catholic
both
off.
altar boys.
I know.
Yeah.
No, it's like hazing. You know, if it happened to me, it's gonna happen to you.
Maybe something will come out.
It's called paying it forward.
Yeah.
Maybe something
That's
we
what that movie was
suppressed
about.
deep down will eventually come out.
Oh yeah, should we just get hypnotized one day? See if we have any recovered memories.
If you guys bring a fucking hypnotist on after I leave, I'm gonna be so mad. Of all the people,
Actually, that would be funny to do. Is like find someone who can read our past lives.
oh, dude, like the
See what we
Akashic
did in history.
record
Yeah.
shit. Yeah,
Jake, I tie-dyed a shirt for you. This is
You-
in your honor.
you didn't tie dye that.
I did. This is
You tie-dyed
I
that?
tie-dyed this shirt
Thank you.
last week.
Wait,
Where?
Definitely for you.
where'd you do it?
With my Ukrainian child.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Child.
Yeah, you can just buy them.
Okay.
Like, they're just available, dude.
You wouldn't believe.
I just was surprised there wasn't a step in front of that.
I don't know if you read the news, but there's a lot of dead Ukrainian parents.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that war's still going.
Ukraine, the Central European country?
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on?
It got invaded.
No.
Yeah, years ago.
Come
Yeah,
on.
multiple years at this point.
Yeah. Kind of asking for
Jeffrey
it, though.
Epstein, the financier?
Yeah, kind of asking for it, though, walking around in that neighborhood.
Yeah, for real. I mean, come on. Just like move, you know?
Looking
on.
so good being radioactive.
Oh, man. Well, we talked about controlling money. We talked about radioactivity. We talked about invasions and wars. I think it's only fitting that I seg now. Today, we're going to do what I do when I'm not supposed to be, or when I'm supposed to be researching a really valid topic.
Yeah, let's do what we typically do and interrupt you.
Okay, perfect.
But no, I'm wearing this shirt because of Bill Walton. Bill Walton died.
Oh, hell yeah. No,
Yeah.
I saw that news. That's a sad story.
I did
Bill
tie-dye
Walton,
the shirt, though.
It wasn't for me, though.
It wasn't for you. It was
I-
for me to go to the dead, but then Bill Walton died, too.
Did you go to Dead in
Yeah.
Vegas? Oh, fuck you.
At the Sphere.
I bet it was amazing.
You know,
He said he got too high.
I got way too high.
I don't think you need to get that high for the Sphere.
No,
honestly.
you don't. I was great for about the first hour. Then there was 2 hours where I was out of it. Then I came through on the last hour, though.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
went for like 4 hours.
Yeah, dude.
Well, you went to,
it was
it's
one
you,
song.
You're like a
Yeah, it
literal
was.
airplane, right? You went above how high you're supposed to fly. You stalled, and you started free falling.
Mm-hmm. But
And
we
then
recovered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you landed the plane. You're
We
here.
sullied that shit.
But
Hell
by
yeah.
the way, Larry Scott killed Bill Walton.
You think so?
Yeah.
Big-
Bill Walton couldn't live a day on Earth without the Pac-12.
I know. The day they put the Pac-12 headquarters in San Francisco.
No, yesterday or today was the last
It was
Pac-12
last
sporting
night.
event ever.
It was last night, Arizona USC baseball game.
Yes, the championship game.
Everything in the stadium for the Pac-12 like merch tent or whatever merch store, $5 in the
Right.
stadium.
I believe Bill Walton just dissipated. As
Like
soon as the
Yoda?
Pac-12 was over, yeah.
Like Yoda or Obi-Wan just Yeah, I agree. He couldn't be. He can't live without the Pac-12.
The downstream repercussions of the Pac-12 dissolving are vast, and we're just seeing the tip.
I'm just saying, go
iceberg.
tweet out as soon as you hear this. Larry Scott killed Bill Walton.
Larry Scott also got a multi-million-dollar interest-free loan to buy a house from the Pac-12 and has paid back $0 of it.
Yeah, he wasn't very
It's interest-free.
qualified. He's one of the worst commissioners of all sports.
All sports.
He came from a tennis background, I believe.
fucking
Yeah.
God.
So that's why Rob really hates him.
I mean, he's just not qualified to handle big money sports.
Nah.
Yeah. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. So typically when I research stuff for this show, I go down rabbit holes, and I like to look at the stuff I like to look at first, and then eventually get to something that's historically relevant.
Right. Very often it's not accurate.
No, it never is. But today, one time Dan showed up to my house, and I made him watch a movie called Beyond Majestic. And it's about Nazi aliens on the moon.
Great.
We're not going to talk about Nazi aliens on the moon.
Are we gonna? So everyone knows this about how our clip, one of our more viral social clips, was you getting something totally wrong about the income tax.
Yeah.
But there was also, was it you or was it both of you about Quincy and the Mole Men that we found out was complete bullshit?
It was both of us.
Okay.
But
I led the charge, but you corrected
I corrected it.
You corrected it.
Yeah.
I will also say my biggest regret on this entire show is the income tax flaw.
No,
The
Rob
fallacy.
Riggle shared that clip.
Yeah.
Rob Riggle shared it, but
We'll always
it
have
is
that.
still my biggest regret.
We'll always make Rob Riggle look like an asshole.
That's right. Even more so than me. Because we say we don't know what we're talking about at the top. But today I'm going to be going down. Have you ever seen a iceberg meme?
Yeah.
This is the conspiracy theory iceberg
Yeah, it's
meme.
tip of the iceberg.
We're going to go tip to base.
Okay.
How do you get to Q?
Q is somewhere in the middle. Really at the tip.
Really?
I would put it at the tip. Yeah, I'm not even really going to cover Q today. I'm not going to cover Q today. Those guys
Qs
suck.
are a bunch of posers, dude.
Qs?
Yeah, dude.
No, they actually kind of suck as far as conspiracy is concerned. Like, they think it's like, they're like, no, we know this really big secret, but
That's what the Q's for, casual.
casual. Bunch of filthy casuals. But, we're going to start off with one of the most disseminated conspiracy theory pieces of work in modern literature. And we're going to work our way all the way down to the weirdest outer fringes, and then we're going to tie it all together in my big, dumb, grand, unified conspiracy theory.
Let's just go. So this is just Jake Goldman, how the world works.
This is how the world actually, and I want to preface this by saying I don't believe in any of this shit. They are my favorites.
It is your conspiracy.
Well, yeah, I like the fever. Okay,
You got to own your takes, my man.
they are not my takes, and
At least on the way out, too. Nobody's going to hold you to this. You'll
Yeah.
never be on a
that's
microphone
very
again.
true. I mean, who?
Fucking napalm that bridge, baby.
Okay, fuck it. Let's light it on fire. But no, for real. Like, I think it's really important to note that I think conspiracy theories are a way that people that have shitty circumstances use to justify their shitty circumstances outside of themselves. It's a really nice way to be like, one, I know something that no one else knows.
I don't even think you need shitty circumstances. I think you just need to be bored.
Boredom is a shitty
The amount of
circumstance.
times I've told people to get a fucking hobby.
How?
Or like
When they're spouting off shit.
yeah, or like friends even, or like people I know, or like not even get a hobby, but like get a better hobby because that is their hobby.
What are you going to do? Fix, like, ships and bottles?
That'd be healthier.
Yeah, just assembling them in the little bottle.
Yeah.
Have you done one yet?
I have not.
No.
I got frustrated with my Lego Charizard and gave up.
You gave up on a Lego Charizard?
It kept breaking.
I'm not
fine
into
pieces.
I'm not into any Legos that are other franchises. You know, I'm not buying Marvel and Star Wars Legos.
I just like freeform Lego.
I'm gonna get my kids like some old school pirate ships, shit like that.
Yeah.
We'll have some battles.
For sure.
I'll beat them. It's like you can never let your kids win, right?
No.
Like basketball, Lego pirate ship battles.
You beat them
they
until they beat
have
you.
to. Yeah, they have to earn that victory.
Wins are for like earn.
Mhm.
Like you have to earn a win, right?
And to earn that win, they will have to.
When do
beat
you
me in
get to a
fist
model
fight.
train set?
Mm.
What age? 50?
it's 67.
That's
That's
way
too late.
old.
That's too late. Yeah, maybe like 54.
Does a Christmas tree train count?
No, if it only
Depends
comes
how
out at
involved you
Christmas.
get.
Okay.
If it only
If
comes
you
out at
build
Christmas,
out the entire town.
I think
Like, if you have more than just a general store,
Yeah.
yeah,
maybe there's a tavern in the city. Maybe
Okay.
there's a shopping mall.
If there's a tunnel,
A bad part of town.
yeah, on one side of the model train
on the other side of the train
tracks,
tracks, yeah.
and on the infield of the
it's
train.
on the infield of the
yeah.
train tracks, yeah.
But yeah, no. One of my favorite things to do is go on these conspiracy forums and read these books, and a lot of them read like a fucking schizophrenic's fever dream. I just like watching people write their stream of conscious insanity. Like, I get a lot from it. But there's also a lot of really good texts out there that I think are great and important to understand, not as truth, but as like significant to where we are in the zeitgeist of conspiratorial thought. And the first thing I'm going to talk about, I've referenced this a lot on the show, is the book Behold a Pale Horse. Have you heard of this book?
Yes, but I don't know anything about it. I don't remember anything about it.
Okay. Dan, you?
Which is the worst yes of all time, but
Fuck. No, I don't.
Okay. So this is a book that is...
is that a Revelations reference?
It is a Revelations
Okay.
reference. Yes. The Pale
Of
Horse
course
is
it
death.
is. Fucking
Yeah,
course.
right.
Is that one of the 4 horsemen
The Pale Horse is the horse of death.
that he rides on?
Yeah. So, right, exactly. Behold a Pale Horse is very prominent. If you've ever talked to anyone that spent a long enough amount of time in prison, they have run into this book. It was disseminated a lot in prisons.
You were telling us about. Maybe you were. Man, this is how I know that everything we say to each other is genuine, because I don't fucking know if you told me this on mic or off mic, but
Yep.
you've told me about this before.
Yeah.
Is that why Brooks killed himself in Shawshank?
Yeah, he learned the truth.
Because he was like kind of custodian of the library.
Yeah, he got a hold
He definitely got a hold of it.
Actually, this book came out in 91, so he definitely didn't get a hold of it. Brooks was in prison.
Brooks was not there
Yeah, Brooks was
in that book.
It was not there.
I
Sorry,
mean,
man.
they filmed it in the 90s.
They did.
Well, look, there could be a continuity error, certainly.
Right.
Well, everything could be a continuity error in my grand conspiracy theory.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a book written by a man named William Cooper, published in 91. It's one of the seminal texts in the realm of conspiracy theories, and it blends a pretty wide array of topics, including government cover-ups, UFOs, and secret societies.
It's also our birthday year.
It is. Fucking 91, baby. MCM, XCI, let's go!
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, William Cooper, the author, was a former U.S. naval intelligence officer who claimed to have insider knowledge of various government secrets. Of course he did.
I mean, maybe he knew something.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about being a conspiracy theorist, is that you only need to get like one thing right, and then it doesn't matter how many things you get wrong. It's like the opposite of a journalist, right?
Very much so.
Like if a journalist gets one thing wrong, credibility gone forever. If a conspiracy theorist gets one thing right, it doesn't matter how many
Get
other
shots up.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how many other fucking things they ever get wrong.
Right, exactly. And his military background lent some credibility to his claims among other conspiracy theorists, because nothing these people love more. There's nothing they love more than huffing each other's farts. It's great.
That's take culture, though.
That is take culture.
Nobody has more takes than Stephen A. Smith, and I'm sure he has the most takes in history that were wrong. But he's also got the most that were right.
Yeah.
But he's just fun to watch.
But he's firing.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
Well, it's like content.
That's the only thing that matters.
Content in general.
Yeah.
Most of it doesn't need to
Nil.
be good, right?
Yes.
For every
Nil.
good joke or whatever, you just need like one every couple of days, and the rest can be absolute dog shit.
I mean, our show is an hour and a half. We maybe have a clip a week, maybe 2.
It's bad.
We are not volume shooters.
We rewatch, and we're like, I don't want to put this out again.
I have to watch it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to blow my brains off.
Off?
Off my body, yes. Off my head.
Prepositions be
That'd actually be
weird.
pretty sweet if you like just removed the top of your skull
And then-
surgically, like in Hannibal, and then put a gun up into your mouth.
Like a blow, reverse vacuum into your nose to blow it off. Like a leaf blower.
Also, blowing your brains off, too, could be your testicles.
It could be your testes. It's your third brain. The stomach's the second.
True.
Yeah. Well, Cooper's life, of course, was marked by controversy, and he became a prominent figure in the conspiracy theory community until his death in a shootout with police in 2001. Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, they were trying to cover up what he knew. They were trying to stop him from spreading knowledge.
When?
He was a chronic alcoholic. And
Who cares? It's
Yeah.
not a crime.
but also, I believe he was a domestic abuser.
Not
as
a
well.
crime.
Driving drunk, not a crime.
My take about the income tax is immediately absolved. Anywho,
Well, you can't punch your house. You
That's-
fucking.
you know what? You're right. Fuck drywall, right? Fuck it. In 1966, he was serving aboard the USS Tyru when he and fellow Navy personnel witnessed a metal craft larger than a football field repeatedly enter and exit the water. He's actually at the forefront of a pretty prominently developing schism in the UAP discussion of USOs, which are unidentified submersible objects. So
Yeah, I feel like it's like a Graham Hancock variant. What if the UFOs came from below?
before
Yeah,
below
From the ocean?
Yeah,
the ocean.
it's-
No, but it is a lot of Navy people, as much as Air Force people talk about, we saw some shit up in the sky. Like, a lot of Navy people do talk about, we saw some shit fly out of the water without any change.
It's a good who cares? That's a good place for a UFO to hang out.
If it can do it.
Doesn't House Arrakis keep their spaceships underwater?
No, not
Yeah.
that I know of.
I don't know.
I don't
lore
remember
that well.
They do.
It doesn't
Wait,
matter.
what's Duke of Arrakis? What House Atreides? House Atreides keeps their ships underwater.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And at the start of the second Star Wars or Star Trek movie, the fucking ship comes out underwater.
Star Trek. Oh, you're just saying, you're giving multiple references. Yeah, but I mean, I think the intriguing part about a USO is that the change in environment without change in speed. That's what the interest is in it, because it's like, okay, they're leaving the water and they're still being propelled. Like,
Right.
They're different mechanisms usually that are using that. But here's some of the key themes and claims of Behold a Pale Horse. So one of the first things right off the bat, it talks about UFOs and extraterrestrials. A significant portion of the book discusses alleged government knowledge of interactions with extraterrestrial beings. Cooper basically implies that there have been numerous cover-ups regarding UFO sightings, including Roswell, of course, but more importantly, alien encounters, including secret treaties between governments and alien species. Cooper alleges that the U.S. government is involved in numerous covert activities aimed at controlling and deceiving the population, not just with the alien theories, but also at the behest of aliens. So he's claiming that we have been working with aliens for years.
Okay. To what are they behesting us?
Well, yeah, we're a TV show.
Yeah.
Aliens want to work with the powers that be, the
Right.
higher ups,
Right.
but they don't want people to know that aliens exist. And we'll get to that in the grand unified theory much, much later,
Okay.
because there's a reason for that, obviously.
Is this where all these right-wing people now are saying aliens have this religious aspect now,
I think that's
and there's this evil component to it,
yes, actually. Okay,
What,
so you're on the right
aliens are
track.
The devil,
like the shit Tucker Carlson's spewing now.
dude.
Oh,
He's
you
I don't
wouldn't
even
believe
want to
it.
tell you.
This is the
By the
stuff
way-
they're referencing.
by the way,
absolutely.
Don't the aliens have religion in Halo? Aren't they religious zealots?
I never played Halo.
I didn't play it.
I suck at first-person shooters.
Really?
Yeah.
I like third-person shooters the most.
Yeah, he was just telling me all about his latest Fortnite game right before we got on air.
That was great. Fortnite's so good.
It was. I was like, when are you leaving again?
No, you fucking listened, dude. You
Oh, I thought a
listened.
third-person
I
shooter
heard.
is when you invite another man into the bedroom.
That could be it. Could be it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Like
yeah,
when
that's-
Rob and his wife invite their bull in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sergio.
I'm usually not there. I don't have time for that guy.
Yeah.
He's a loser.
Yeah, it's more like he's doing a favor for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. He mows the lawn.
He does, dude. He does a lot of yard work, and he'll take his kids to daycare and stuff like that. This guy needs a hobby. Speaking of, get a hobby. This guy.
Maybe buy a bottle in a ship.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, Sergio, why don't you fucking do something for once?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why don't you build some character, man?
it's only so often you could play with, my wife's man in the boat. Why don't you build your own boat or something? That guy just sucks. I don't even talk about him.
Back to Cooper. He alleges that the U.S. government is involved in numerous covert activities aimed at controlling and deceiving the population. This also includes the aliens want this to happen. Planned economic collapses, political assassinations, and the manipulation of public opinion. Specifically, he calls out Dwight Eisenhower for signing the first treaty with extraterrestrials. So,
Sure.
That's what he warned us about. It wasn't military-industrial complex. It was Aliens.
Well,
By the way, like that speech, people are like, he warned us about it. He was like, the military-industrial complex is necessary and kind of sweet. Just don't let it get too crazy. That's the whole speech. That's the rest of the speech. But people are just like, he warned us.
he did though. He said, "Don't let it get too crazy." What are we at? $1 trillion a year?
he actually, it was bar
No,
for bar
Not even.
George Washington's speech about political parties.
And not getting
Yeah.
involved in Europe's bullshit.
Yeah,
Bar.
pretty
Here's
much.
the thing
Bar.
about Europe. You can try to get away from it, but Europe will find you.
Can't ever leave daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They pull me back in.
Just when I thought it was out.
Dude,
That's
no,
why
dude,
that-
nuclear engineers in Europe make like 30 grand. Fuck them.
I agree. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you have health care? Cool, dude.
They have healthcare.
Try to buy a sandwich.
They have
you know when you
healthcare
don't need
'cause-
healthcare?
What?
You know when you don't need healthcare? When you're young.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're supposed to be making money.
By the way,
Yeah.
they have healthcare because Daddy pays the army bills.
The NATO bills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
Oh,
Oh, no,
you're
I
a
would love
doctor in Sweden? Cool. I make more than you, dog.
I would love some
How's
free
that feel?
healthcare.
How's that feel, buddy?
Free healthcare, it sounds great when you're not making money. I'll tell you that much.
It does, yeah. Every
Yeah.
time I've been unemployed, I'm like, this goddamn country. And
Son
every
of a
time
bitch.
I'm making money, I'm like, these goddamn hobos.
Yeah. No, it's real both sides of the
I
fence.
am, my entire workout is just pulling ladders up. I'm just,
The old ladder pull.
I was going to say the
good for
farms
your
are
soul.
looking pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
He also claims that John F. Kennedy's assassination was because he was going to blow the lid off of it. John F. Kennedy was going to tell everyone about the aliens. And a lot of people
what
do.
a poetic death. They blew his lid off instead.
Yeah. It's like, you're going to blow the lid off of us? We're going to blow the lid off. We're going to blow your brains off,
Yeah,
dude.
his brain's off, straight off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people do think that like one of the first things you experience as a president is you get the talk about aliens.
Right.
And there's some, I believe there's like something attributed to Jimmy Carter. He was like crying after his first briefing.
Oh, it
As
had
a
to be
president?
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Sweet
Well,
Georgia boy.
he has alien connections too. He claims he saw a UFO.
Okay.
So there's some stuff to that.
That
Obviously,
poor little peanut farmer wasn't ready for
He
what was
wasn't
coming.
wasn't ready for the fucking.
I mean,
big-
if you think about it, post World War II, right? Eisenhower seen everything, fought in World War I, commanded World War II. Then you get JFK, fought like combat in World War II, but I guess he wanted to. He was, you know, "Oh, I'm not deceiving the American people. Blew his brains out. LBJ, guy just wanted to wave his wiener around. He
Well,
didn't care.
Do you think
Literally and
JFK
figuratively.
potentially tried to clap the alien cheeks?
Yeah, he would have.
oh my God, that's part of the human hybrid
That's-
organization.
Truly the funniest meme I've ever seen, just speaking of JFK and cheeks, was just, it was like JFK laying dead in his limo as his wife is like scooping his brains out of the fucking thing.
Dude, Jackie O's ass.
And you see
just
Jackie O's
popping.
ass, and the caption is just like, JFK dead ass gay for falling asleep while this ass in his face.
My favorite JFK
This is the
conspiracy.
funniest.
My favorite one is his head just did that. Just exploded. That's my favorite. But Cooper describes, obviously, he gets into New World Order stuff. He ties, an idea that there's a overseeing totalitarian government, and he ties it to organizations such as the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, and the Council on Foreign Relations.
Snooze.
Yeah, big boring.
I just feel like if they wanted to do it, they could do it. And most people would be like, oh, lame. Then that's...
The thought process is there's a reason behind it, and we'll get to it later.
I do think they do that now.
What?
They no longer try to veil things.
Oh,
They're just like,
we're doing it.
yeah, suck it.
Yeah. What do you think in particular? Like what?
Just medical stuff.
Like what?
I don't want to say specific things.
You don't want to get demonetized?
We're already demonetized.
Oh,
but
this is the biggest
We have
demonetization.
advertisers.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
He's
Pfizer.
talking about periods.
Yeah, it's a myth.
Periods are a myth, yeah.
Yeah, that's Dan.
A liberal media myth.
Yeah. Sorry, ladies, just want a break, dude.
ladies just want an excuse to be pissed off at you.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
Okay.
You're just jealous.
We have Gabby off mic actually,
Did
learning
you pick
some.
up does that mic work?
She
It
does have a
does.
mic, yeah.
Wait, that mic
Oh.
works? Oh shit.
I was like, fuck you guys.
Okay. Well,
Alright.
get used to it if you're gonna be sitting in this chair, honey.
I know.
Sorry, that was my attempt at show.
She
Vanessa.
came
I
just in
was,
case you didn't show up.
Wow, really? You guys thought I was gonna ghost?
And you were
the last
so
episode?
late, I thought I was
It'd be
gonna
kind
So
go.
of-
late. I was here at 7:24.
It would be appropriate if you just no-showed us.
Would be.
and just kind of faded off into the distance. Like
It was
He's
Goodwill
clocked
Hunting.
out. He's
Just a
clocked
pair
out.
of
He's got a
taillights.
bottle opener under his flip flop. He's clocked out.
This is.
disappearing
I'm getting ready for Florida.
into the fog.
Getting ready for Florida.
You're ready.
But yeah, obviously he dives into Illuminati shit. And then the last thing is mind control and psychological operations. Cooper claims that the government uses mind control techniques and psychological operations such as MK Ultra to manipulate and control the population. He also goes into shock testing economic situations as well. A lot of different things can be attributed to that. The Great Depression, market runs, things like that. Bank runs, rather.
Yeah.
Controlled by people like J.P. Morgan. You know, we've talked about these kind of topics before. This also includes the use of media, education, and technology to shape public perception and behavior. One of the quotes that a lot of people attribute to this kind of original thought, or this kind of thought that Cooper's presenting is, I believe, is Rockefeller talking about the public education system. And it's like, why would you...
he wants fucking workers.
Mm-hmm. It's to get you... Why would you not teach your children? Why would you send them to an institution of the state where they can mold them into perfect beings and things like that? Perfect for just doing whatever the country needs you to do.
Was
I
it
mean,
Rockefeller?
That's the point of education.
Was it Rockefeller that like destroyed the water supply and the food supply? Like,
I think Rockefeller...
I mean, destroyed the...
Yeah, that's a big claim.
Destroyed what? We have more food than ever, more clean water than ever.
yeah, dude, 100% of us have fucking microplastics in our nuts.
Not stopping me. I blast hot, fresh loads
It's keeping us young.
that make babies.
I'm sorry, you don't like exfoliating cum?
Yeah.
Microbeads?
You don't even know.
It's like Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, our food's infinitely worse. And
It's
the fluoride in the water, dog.
We're getting into
my
fluoride?
God.
I'm bringing up the conspiracy.
No,
Oh,
bro.
yeah. I thought you were saying, but the food
I'm
is
not
actually
genuinely
worse.
saying this.
No,
I'm saying
he's riffing. Let him riff.
The fluoride, I know you're not genuinely saying.
Do you know what the ultimate like goal of fluoride in the water is from a conspiratorial point of view?
well, my dad is a waterman.
Do you know what the reasoning behind it is, though?
Yeah,
Just
'cause-
like,
No, your dad doesn't ask questions. He just dumps the buckets of fluoride in.
this fucking helps
Yeah.
teeth,
No,
baby.
he
Yeah.
told me.
Another rough day, dumping the fluoride in.
It's to make us dumber, dude.
It's to calcify your pineal gland and get you less connected to God.
It's to be less connected to God and less connected to your fellow human.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The pineal
So you become a
glands-
droid, really.
Right, you just become an automaton that does work.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank my dad.
Thanks, Dad. I mean, Dan's dad.
Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where we start getting a little loopy, but within...
Oh, yeah? This is where?
Well, this is all pretty basic run-of-the-mill conspiracy shit that I just talked
Yeah.
about.
Now, we've been dancing around the J word.
We're going to get to the J word soon.
Hell
Don't worry.
yeah.
Don't worry. Because there's
We did bring up J.P. Morgan already.
Yeah.
J.P. Morgan. What do you think the J stands for, huh?
Right.
I don't. Is it Jewish Passover Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
Jewish Passover Morgan.
Do we buy him nuking the fucking Titanic
Yeah, for sure. I believe that. I think
to get rid of his competition?
to get rid of the
That'd be sick.
competition
I
and to
wanna
collect
buy
the
it.
insurance.
I want to buy it.
I would love that one.
The
That's one of
conspiracy was the fucking boat was on fire for 3 weeks before it even like left.
Conspiracy. I thought that was like confirmed.
Well, there's also the whole
could say?
idea that
Yeah.
he switched the boats too, right? There was another boat that was like brand new, and he switched. He made the old boat labeled the Titanic, and he labeled the Titanic the old boat, so he could collect the insurance money.
Those are more fun. Like anything modern kind of sucks, but if you kind of go back in history, like oh yeah, Pearl Harbor, we knew.
Anything pre World War II is fun. Anything post World War II gets a little icky, a little weird.
Well, so you mentioned the J word. There's two documents that are very much associated and referenced in this book, Behold a Pale Horse.
Okay.
One is the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
the foundational document for Jewish blood libel, which
Okay.
is like, oh, Jews drink baby blood. Yada,
Oh, yeah,
yada,
yeah,
yada,
yeah.
yada. Bill Cooper actually goes out and says, hey, this is not anti-Semitic shit. This is actually propaganda created by the Illuminati to put the scent on Jews. This is their document. If you replace Goyim with cattle, Jews with Illuminati, like they're broadcasting what they are doing, the Illuminati, and they're pinning it on Jews.
I got
replace
invited
all the
to the
words.
Illuminati via DM.
I did too.
Didn't accept though.
I didn't either.
Yeah?
I thought it was in poor taste too.
I never.
I wanted an
one.
official invite. Send that shit in the mail.
Yeah, like just bit.ly link. Come on. I'm not doing that. That's a virus, brah.
I like get a seal Have a proper letter.
I joined.
Well, where's our money, bro? Oh wait, you're worth $100 million or something.
$60 million.
$60 million.
$60 million.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks for all the
Yeah.
cash injections we could have used
That's mine. I earned it.
from the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, elders of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. He goes out and says, "Hey, this is not a Jewish conspiracy. Jews have been maligned for years. Jews are children of God. This is about children of God upheaving the rule of people of the devil." Right?
Where's the fake 6 million number come from?
60 million.
6 million.
Oh, the Jew thing. That I'm not diving into that.
It's a whole other.
Why do they keep bringing up 6 million?
Why is it always 6 million?
Why do they talk about all the people that got killed all the time?
No, but 6 million comes up like a couple times.
Before.
Yeah.
It's Graham Hancock.
Yeah.
Before
What if
the
there was
Holocaust.
6 million Jews killed, but before.
What if it's just a nice round number that people like?
That would be funny if eventually he ran out of like good before stuff and he was like, what if World War II was before?
That is true though. Like Palestine, I haven't really heard anything after 30,000. So like I think we just like that number.
I think it's just a hot num.
You kind of it sounds good, so you stick with it.
Yeah.
30K.
Well, the other document, I do want to give props to Bill Cooper, all his terribleness aside, for being like, hey, this isn't the Jews' fault. Because,
Sometimes you have to say it.
yeah, it's like, listen, y'all, I know where you
People get riled up. Yeah, it's immediately like, Jews!
Yeah, and he lays it all
Like,
out. He's
Hold
like,
on.
yeah. The other document, now this is a conspiracy within a conspiracy, is called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars is a conspiracy theory document that alleges a covert plan by global elites to control society through, again, shock testing and psychological means. The document purportedly discovered by Cooper in the 1980s in a fucking copier in the military, apparently.
Perfect.
Yeah. Claims to outline strategies for social manipulation and population control without the use of overt violence.
Just manufactured consent.
So basically,
Edward Bernays, dog.
Yes, manufactured consent, exactly. We're tying in Bernays as well.
Mm-hmm.
So key concepts of this document. The central idea is that the whole idea of modern warfare has shifted from traditional military conflict to more subtle forms of control. Economic manipulation being one. The use of economic policies and financial systems to control populations includes manipulating interest rates, controlling access to credit, and influencing employment rates to maintain social stability and compliance.
So people fight economic warfare instead of
right.
on-the-ground warfare.
And if you're picking up on the things I just mentioned, like interest rates and things like that, and employment numbers, we're getting into Fed is a Illuminati-controlled
Oh, boy.
institution.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Fed has been a target of conspiracy theory.
Well-
I mean, a lot of conspiracy theorists are actually big Andrew Jackson fans.
not just for the Indian part.
He was a populist.
Yeah.
Well, no, he eliminated the central bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
But
fucking
also Money Machine Go Burr.
Money Machine Go Burr. I mean, if you go into some very popular documentaries like Zeitgeist, you can look at how, when you issue money, it devalues money. And we don't have a backing for anything other than faith in currency currently. That's how fiat currency works. So fiat currency works, obviously, by, it's not backed by anything. It's based on the faith in the currency, right? So when people are like, oh, look at all this debt, that's how fiat currency works. Fiat currency incurs debt. Debt doesn't actually mean anything really.
It's like the NBA salary cap.
On a government scale, it's not that important. Like, people are like, look at our national debt. It's like, yeah, but who's fucking collecting? If we're still the number one currency in the global exchange, it doesn't fucking matter, and no one's been able to dethrone us from that.
Right.
I always kind of laugh at
That's
that
like
shit.
the biggest fear, but
It's not
we're
happening.
a little far off from that.
Yeah.
Who's replacing the dollar?
And if it gets
Like, really?
if it gets replaced, what happens? You have global destabilization, right? That's the economies crash if
Like-
the dollar gets supplanted.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing like a super best friends between China,
Four
the
shithole countries.
Saudis,
Yeah, that are fucking.
India, and Brazil?
I don't think it's India and Brazil. It's China, Russia, Iran, and maybe another oil country. Either way, it could be Brazil. Oh, it is Brazil.
No.
It's 4 countries that economy not so great ever. Like, what are they offering? What's backing it?
What's backing anything, Rob?
Big asses.
BBLs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But
People, I guess, in India.
I mean, God knows the Qataris love a good Indian slave, but I don't know if the Russians. The Russians would use it.
Russians
Actually,
use labor.
You know, Russians do use slave labor. A lot of North Koreans.
Yep. Especially in the lumber industry.
Work as literal slaves in Russia.
Yep. That's an export of North Korea's people.
It sure is.
Yeah, people forget about that.
It's easily my least favorite democratic republic.
I don't know, man. Congo's.
Yeah, I was
nah,
gonna
it's
say,
the
what about
worst.
Congo?
Congo's pretty bad.
I'm gonna go with North Korea.
There's some fun. There's some whimsy to North Korea.
Yeah, I'm
though.
gonna ride for my boy.
That's
in.
fair.
They got a fake town. They got a fake town.
It's called Faketon.
You were talking about fake
Also,
train sets.
Not a ton of light pollution.
True.
Oon's got a whole train set reality
I know.
going on just right outside
He
the
is
DMZ.
a man at a table.
He
Yeah.
also might not be alive.
Is that still going on?
Is his hot sister now?
Well, it's his double. That's in the public
Oh, he got
zeitgeist.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. And then his sister runs everything.
That's another fun one.
That is
the Avril
yeah.
Lavigne one.
And where's that? How does that tie to the Illuminati?
Right here, baby.
All right.
Psychological warfare. Silent weapons for quiet wars implies that there are techniques to influence public opinion through media control.
I'm sorry, but let's just zoom back out to fucking 30,000 feet for a second. The aliens who made friends with Dwight Eisenhower want this?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
But they're not friends.
They're not friends.
Okay.
We can jump in a minute.
Dwight is very afraid.
That reminds me of this is mean. I won't bring up who it is, but I remember a person who was in the news a while back who was talking about how, or his friends were talking about how one time he talked down a mugger.
What?
He was like he was getting mugged, got a gun pulled on him. They're like, "Give me your fucking money," and the guy was like, "Hey man, it's okay. What's wrong? It's cool, man." And he's like, and they talked, and then he ended up giving him some money anyway.
Then everyone clapped.
Yeah,
That
but it
mugger's
was like,
name
but
was
it was,
Albert Einstein.
but it was like, well, he had the gun on you the whole time, and you gave him money.
so you got mugged.
Yeah, but he kept his cool.
It's like, I don't think
When
you
clear heads
talked him
prevail-
out of the mugging.
But he's still.
I think you talked yourself out of the mugging.
I'm not being mugged. I'm paying you for a life coach lesson. This one's on the house.
He didn't cry like a bitch,
Yeah.
Honestly,
He wasn't shaking.
I don't understand like people that want to like figure out the mugging or like I'm gonna get out of it or whatever. It's like, dude, here,
Yeah, take it.
fuck, what?
The only thing I would ever say
It's
is
not
like,
even real. It's fiat, baby.
yeah, but like, can I just keep my driver's license? Because that's a bitch.
Yeah, come on. Like, let
Take
me
all the cards. Have
Yeah.
fun.
taking my identity, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I mean, the worst thing I think that could be stolen is your phone. That's annoying because then you got to figure out how to
Yeah.
get back. But I also get why they get stolen. Anyway,
They become instant bricks. There's no reason to steal an iPhone.
all this to say, this document he found kind of outlines how global elites use economic crises to concentrate wealth in smaller and smaller amounts
In the name of Xenu.
in the name of some galactic overlord, right?
No, the fucking owl at Bohemian Grove.
Oh, Walter Cronkite?
Yeah.
Please. I'm not gonna
They
do it.
uploaded his
Yeah.
consciousness.
Yeah. He's just the owl now.
Yeah.
Hello,
Dude.
children.
Would you like to see Hillary Clinton wear a mask of your face? Have you seen that conspiracy theory? That there's
No, Jake, I've not.
I've
I've seen some, but you've seen most.
It's his last episode. Let him go.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I'm
there's-
gonna let you cook. I'm just saying.
there's
No, I
this
haven't seen it.
whole conspiracy theory in the right-wing circles right now that there's a video of Hillary Clinton wearing a skinned child's face as a mask to scare them. And where
What's
does
a
that tie into what we're talking about?
What's a skin child?
I'll tell you in a second.
Skinwalkers.
So
Just a child meant for skin?
they're concentrating wealth. That's the claim. They're doing it to have more power. They're also manipulating people through media and economic means in order to be compliant.
Okay. By the way, what's funny is that the better way to put it is they are reconcentrating wealth because wealth has never been less concentrated.
Right. No, that's a very good point, too. It's a return to form.
Yeah, because from the start of the industrial revolution to now, wealth now granted, like there are hyper rich people, but wealth is less concentrated than it's ever been. Ever.
Right.
Go back to Rome. Go back to fucking the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
You know what else?
But we
has been-
didn't account for the influencers.
We didn't.
We didn't.
We fought back, one dance at a time.
Yeah, you think being a fucking dancing
Only
doll
fans, really.
on a screen is fighting back?
Yeah, they didn't know sex work
that's
was
the-
real work.
Do you know what trickle down economics was called before it was called trickle down? Horse and sparrow. Do you know why? Because the horse would get all the grain, and then the sparrow would get the kernels out of its shit. That's what we get.
Yeah, but the sparrow flies over the horse and shits on the horse.
So there's a poetic beauty at the end.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's horse is still winning.
Is it?
Yeah, dude.
I think it's
Gets
just
all
a
the corn.
cycle of shit.
It is. But anywho,
Horse
silent
can't even
weapons.
fly, bro.
The whole point of the silent weapons is to achieve a form of global control where people don't realize they're being controlled. A lot of things they talk about too. It's very easy to see why this caught on because it was written in 91 where the internet's starting to catch on and like technology's starting to pick up, but it's not fully there yet.
Yeah.
And it's like surveillance. So like, oh, why do our phones get tracked? People can make these logical leaps of like, well, when economic crises happen, they can see our buying patterns, our movement, things like that, and be able to predict things more future.
And why would they want that? Oh, it's a intergalactic king.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Obviously, it's
Yeah.
Social credit score, dog.
yeah. I mean, look. I guess if you build steps indefinitely, you'll reach the fucking moon.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's very important to note at this point in the episode, this is all based off of conjecture and loosely tied yarns. Like, right? These are broad sweeping topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like I saw this happen
But
on
it's
this
funny. It's
date.
like you can't. It's funny that's happening back then. Maybe these people are comic book fans, and I say that because it's like a Marvel. It's like Marvel now. Like one thing Marvel did with movies is like you almost are bored if it's not tying into a bigger story.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
well, what does this mean? It can't just be a self-contained
No,
essay.
it's gotta be grand and
Right.
unified.
Right. And that's like maybe they were that comic books have always been that way.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's like why Marvel was so novel to the wider audience, is because they weren't really used to comic book storytelling like that.
yeah.
So I wonder if these guys were just into comics and they wanted to. And that's not even a knock on comic fans, but you know, there's probably the Venn diagram's probably a lot of overlap.
Or
I
Rob, you can wake the fuck up, dude.
Wake up, Sheeple, Scherson,
Buddy,
Lamb guy.
And actually,
I'm
I have
hanging out
my
with
questions about you if you're denying it so heavily.
He's a bootlicker. We know this.
I'm Team Alien.
He's Team Alien.
Control.
Oh, if they
Except
came
the
down,
aliens aren't aliens, Rob. They're not.
they're in our government.
They're already in our government. They've been there.
Are
they've
they
infiltrated everything.
interdimensional?
They are. They are.
They're DMT
Are
elves.
they coming back from the future?
They're not. Well, we don't know for
Well,
sure.
There's no future. There's no past.
The universe is holographic.
Here's the thing,
get
though.
there.
If you could go back in time if you were able to get into a higher dimension, then you just bang, right?
Yeah, it's just taking a
Pop
left.
back in wherever you
Yeah.
fucking feel like.
Yeah, exactly. We're all in the fourth dimension. We're all weird snakes
Right.
that look like our skeleton and our baby fetus,
Mm.
and that's how we would look, right?
Pretty hot.
Yeah, but I think something that he brings up a lot too with like psychological means of testing
Here,
and
somebody
things like
yank at his fucking face. Yank at Rob's face. See if the skin comes off.
that. You ever see They Live?
Don't. Yeah, I've seen They Live. Yeah.
They Live actually very much ties into a lot of this too.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah. So one of the things they talk about, we're gonna veer off track for just a second. MK Ultra.
What track?
There's no track, but yeah, veer off the track that I'm trying to lay out. So MK Ultra is one of the things they talk about, how we, do experiments on our own people. A declassified document that is a separate, not even a conspiracy theory, it's just a thing that I find interesting, is the Gateway Project. This is the CIA's venture into remote viewing experimentation. So
Yeah, I think
Ye-
you've taught us before.
yeah, so there's a doctor named Robert Monroe that worked for the CIA, and he was using this technology called hemisync technology. And basically what it does, this is all declassified. This really happened. This is very verifiable.
Mm-hmm.
You can still get this tech now. It's not even tech, but at the time it was. So what they would do is they would cover people's eyes up with like ping pong balls, basically, and like desensitize them to
Right.
sight. And they would line them up with some headphones that had alternating beat frequencies. And the goal of this process was to sync up your brain hemispheres. So like your brains operate at different your brain hemispheres operate at different frequencies.
Okay.
And hemisync software or protocols were made to help you sync up your brain. And the theory is that you could remote view, access parts of your brain that you couldn't normally do. Like it would allow you to self-heal, you'd become more spiritual feeling, and you could see things far away. So
you could spy on the Soviets.
you could spy on the Soviets.
Which is basically, so this is for those who are still having trouble picturing this, Stranger Things.
This is Stranger Things. Stranger Things is based on the work of Dr. Monroe.
Yeah. And specifically when Elle goes into the black room.
The black room is a remote viewing or
Yeah,
astral
yeah.
reprojection reference. Absolutely.
We're not talking about the Upside Down. We'll get to the Upside Down.
The upside down's coming. Don't worry.
They're not creating sleeper cells in this.
No, that would be MK Ultra, which we have a whole episode on.
Which
that.
also, like, I don't the thing I never understand about MK Ultra is that, like, why not test on people? It's unethical to test on animals.
And who else to
So-
do it but the CIA?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
Like, we
people that didn't sign up for it.
So
They were born here.
They just took your uncle.
it's called a social contract, dude.
He stumbled out of a bar and all of a sudden
He went to therapy in Haight-Ashbury and yeah. Well, yeah, he got MK Ultra'd.
Should have been
Uncle
walking
Ted
around
all
in
of
that
a
neighborhood.
sudden
Yeah. Move.
Yeah.
Starts
mailing
move.
bombs.
One example of remote viewing involves a participant accurately describing the interior of a secret military facility. This is factual in a declassified document, which was later verified by on-site intelligence operatives. The results are anecdotal, not repeatable, but they do have glimpses of, like, yeah, some people doing this were able to do this thing. And I like to think of it as, like, of course they weren't repeatable, you know, like it's something we barely understand. And maybe they just got fucking lucky. Who knows?
Yeah.
But another thing Robert Monroe is very much accredited with, in a weird way, is the concept of Louch. Louch is an energy that humans emit when they experience terror. So
What? It's like a pheromone?
It's a spiritual energy. So
So this is his idea.
this is his idea, but
Okay.
he's working along these CIA operatives and things like that. Louch becomes kind of the underpinning of all of this. Why are the aliens doing this, right? Why are we listening to the aliens?
The Louch must flow.
The Louch is what feeds the aliens,
Oh, my God.
right? Isn't this dumb? Isn't this dumb?
No, on your take, dude.
No, this isn't my take. I
This
don't
is
believe
the
in Louch.
Goldman.
I do not believe in Louch. But this is where, okay, so Louch, that's an early form of what other conspiracy theory? Adrenochrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's always been
So
this,
there's
like,
just essence.
essence.
Ah,
Exactly.
just have vampires. Just make
They
a vampire.
are. They're psychological vampires.
Yeah.
Or spiritual vampires, if you
Or
will,
no,
right?
they're energy vampires.
They're
like
energy
the energy vampire in fucking
Okay.
Yeah, but are
What
they
We Do in the Shadows.
energy vampires doing luges?
Yeah, you get an ice block.
A
The
luge
energy
of luge.
luge
Yeah.
off like an ice sculpture.
Yeah.
It was a mistranslation years ago. It was
No, I think
just-
it's a loose luge.
it's
a loose
an
luge.
adrenochrome luge.
Yeah. Well, that's just baby cells.
Oh, stem cells?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Adrenochrome? No.
Isn't it?
No, adrenochrome's an actual thing that is produced by people.
Yeah, as soon
Okay.
as the baby comes out, you just crack its head open.
Crack it.
There is no, like, adrenochrome is something you can go get right now. It's not going to make you, like, fucking, whoa, I'm going to live forever and shit. Like, it's just a thing.
I will say,
You're not doing it right.
when you witness a child being born, there is a thirst.
Did you eat the placenta?
There is a thirst.
Did you eat it? A lot of people do.
There is.
They'll cook it up for
So
you.
we ate the placenta.
There is a thirst.
Raw? Did you go raw?
The thirst is strong.
You know, my thirst is strong. Can I get a beer?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh no, I got you one already.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
If you have another kid, you should put on like a bacon egg
People.
and bagel sandwich.
Yeah, why
bagel?
not?
Bagel?
Yeah,
you
bacon.
trying to
Should we-
say?
Should we smoke it like make it bacon, like placenta bacon?
It's just
Come
no.
on,
it's
why
just
we gotta
like
make it not
Spam.
kosher?
Or placenta chorizo. I sent
Placenta
when
chorizo,
Rory was
actually.
born. I don't know if I've said this on the show before. When Rory was born, we did keep the placenta for both kids actually, and got it made into pills so Courtney could take it because it helps with postpartum, according to Xenu. And
I was about to say, according to Robert Monroe.
yeah. And anyway, I took a picture of the placenta in its little fucking jug or whatever box that it was in, and I sent the picture to Jake and Dan, and I was like, he's not the cutest kid, but I love him.
I forgot you did that.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
it was
do
just
that?
the raw, bloody placenta.
I
Like
think you did that. I vaguely remember that.
I did do that.
Okay.
If you look back through our history on your iPhone, like if you just go through pictures, there is a fucking gnarly placenta in there.
Okay. That's awesome. I'm glad you did that. But
You guys didn't even react. I was so bummed.
where we're
I was like, that was a good text.
where we're at in the iceberg right now, we're about in the middle of it. With
Of course we
Louch.
are.
We're about in the middle.
You
of
weren't
it.
lying about Q being soft.
Yeah, Q's soft as shit, dude. Like adrenochrome is such butt lifted from like everything else that other people have built. Like Q is just like a lazy amalgamation to just. The thing I hate about Q2 is like
Well, nobody wants to work, Jake. That's the thing.
It's-
Nobody wants to work.
Q is the fuck Jerry of conspiracy theorists.
I was gonna say Q is like the DC universe, DC cinematic universe. You know what I mean?
Stop making everything
I don't-
comic
yeah.
books.
Those are the only movies I watch.
We know.
That and Banshees of Inisherin. You mean do Banshees?
Make
So-
it
Make it Banshees.
Yeah, make
It's a little
it
bit higher
Banshees.
brow, yeah.
Like God, Whisper in the Willows or whatever the fuck it was called. Wind in the wheat grains. What's that other movie you
No,
like?
Jake. No.
The kill. Oh
Stop
yeah, I forget even what it is. But
Stop
yeah,
it.
the Cillian Murphy Irish Revolution movie.
Okay.
28 days later.
So I'm gonna connect all these dots for you real quick before we jump down to the bottom of the iceberg. So the aliens want us to be manipulated and in this kind of permanent purgatory misery, because if we're stuck in these terrible, boring office jobs and we're just being manipulated by a government, we're a Louch factory, basically.
Okay.
But where you get deeper and toward the bottom is aliens aren't aliens. We are so far past Bill Cooper at this point. This is where people have taken steps.
Right.
So
Everyone's Pepe Silvaing.
yes,
Yeah.
Bill Cooper said they're aliens. Where others have taken off is that they're not aliens. They're interdimensional beings. Some claim they're just interdimensional.
Futuristic society, maybe.
Possibly. Or something that you like to reference, a past future society. Like a Tartarian. type of
Atlantis,
yeah. Like an Atlantis situation, right? We'll get there too.
So they were
Like
before
every
us.
new
They were,
Assassin's
they were
Creed.
before us. Figured out how to leap.
Mm-hmm.
Pieced out a 3D.
Or
Now they're just chilling.
they weren't even like necessarily before us. They were just alongside of us.
They're in the 5D, bro.
too.
Yeah.
Almost like a djinn, something else.
Yeah.
Interdimensional, right? So they want us to be kind of like cattle that they can get all this loosh off.
The loosh
of.
must flow.
Yeah, exactly. Where do they come from? Why Earth? Why Earth?
Do you know what's funny about that too, by the way? Maybe this is where Stephen King got it. Maybe. But have you seen the sequel to The Shining?
Doctor Sleep?
Yeah.
That's a loosh story.
Yeah.
They
suck
the life.
the life out of a terrified, usually child, but
That's a loosh story.
Yeah.
1,000%. Yeah.
like
a
they
lot-
literally just suck the essence out of it.
A lot of people in terrible circles think that Stephen King is an operative. That's
why not?
revealing. And
And
like
he's
the
just
whole
like cackling, like.
well, there's a theory that there's a karmic contract where you have to tell people that you're doing this stuff to them, but you don't have to tell them directly. It's their fault if they can't figure it out. But as long as you're telling them, then you're absolved of the karmic debt. That's why symbolism will be their downfall.
Right.
Yeah, it's
right.
very.
We figured it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure you did.
It's so dumb. But now we're at the bottom of the iceberg, and we're getting into electric universe theory. So, and its implications with the planet Saturn.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just
Sure.
got the Titan, so
Yeah. Why do you think we're trying to get there, bro?
I think we just landed something on Titan.
Did we land it or are we sending it?
I think it landed recently. Yeah.
I'm more interested in Europa, personally, but I think that's a Jupiter moon.
I don't know.
I believe
that the
Titan
one that
is
Is that the one that the squids in your found footage movie were on?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
But I believe Titan's like the most similar to our Earth.
Okay.
As far as size. And electric universe theory is very tied to similarities in Earth and celestial bodies around Saturn. So, real quick, electric universe theory is an alternative cosmological model that emphasizes the role of electricity in the universe. Now, I could go really deep into this, but it's dumb and unsubstantiated. They're basically saying it's more about the universe is full of energy and that electricity and energy is the foundational force in the universe and not gravity. This has been debunked by our current physics. Not to say that physics is 100% correct. No one says that, but it posits that electric and magnetic forces play the dominant role in shaping the universe. One of the more controversial aspects of the electric universe theory is the Saturn polar alignment hypothesis. According to this idea, Saturn was once positioned at the center of our solar system's polar configuration, with Earth and other planets aligned along its axis, meaning Saturn was once way closer to us.
Okay.
Like way
sideways?
Closer. No, just like it was above us.
Okay.
Like we could see it.
But
in
we were
the
on
sky.
its axis.
We were on its axis. So this alignment is said to have created spectacular electrical discharges and plasma phenomena, which ancient cultures may have recorded in myths and symbols. This gets into your Graham Hancock shit too. Proponents claim that such an alignment could explain the consistent portrayal of Saturn-like symbols and deities across different civilizations. Implications of the Saturn theory include that first, it challenges the conventional model of the solar system's formation in history, suggesting a far more dynamic and electrically active environment in the past. Second, it provides a potential explanation for the consistent themes found in ancient mythologies and cosmologies, specifically symbolism. If there is a giant ringed object in the sky above you in ancient times, what does it look like? It looks like an eye, a ring with a dot in the middle.
Okay.
The all-seeing eye is Saturn.
Sure.
Yeah. I know you're getting annoyed, but this is where
I'm not annoyed. I'm just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
wait,
Why not?
Rob, you're Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Believe all that shit?
Every ounce.
Okay.
In nombre Padre, Espíritu Santos.
But you are like religious, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. You kind of believe in God and there's some type of purpose or meaning.
Yes.
I mean,
No. Nah.
Why not?
On this?
Yeah.
Nah. What do I need? What do I need that? What do I need in this? Just nah.
At this point, like, if someone told you all of this, like, in seriousness, I'd be like, you need antipsychotics.
Yeah. I'm like, eh.
Yeah. But this is the shit I like to read. So,
What if it's just an eye is a powerful symbol and people's eyes have always been important?
right? Or maybe that pyramid on the back of the U.S. dollar.
Or what if it was a Cyclops?
They did. I read something about Cyclopses being, or like Greeks thinking they found Cyclops skulls, but it was actually like a mammoth skull that looks like a fucking Cyclops.
It is a mammoth skull.
Yeah.
I 100% believe the mythology of the Cyclops comes from mammoth fossils.
Because how it kind of looks like one eye.
Yeah,
it's a giant
like one
gaping
big
hole
fucking hole.
and tusks and shit.
You're like,
and
this thing would fuck you up.
because it looks like a human skull
It
in
would.
proportion.
Yeah.
Like when you see it without the fucking fur and stuff on it. Yeah. I mean, that's why, we're like, we don't really know if dinosaurs looked like original dinosaurs. Maybe they had feathers. We don't know. We just don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, Saturn plays an important part. It's the all-seeing eye. The concept of mana falling from the sky is the discharges and stuff like that. And like
Of what?
I
The
don't-
electricity?
the electricity,
Okay.
giving people energy, things like that.
It's not just, it's so funny because it's like,
These are such big leaps, dude.
it's because like obviously, and a thing anyone would think is like, what if it rained pizza? Oh, what if it rained bread instead of rain? That'd be a miracle. Oh, it'd be sweet if it rained bread. Like you're starving. You're like, oh, rained bread. And then like, I don't know, you just tell a story where it rained bread.
It rained bread. That's how we lived.
Or there could be a mistranslation, like the Taiping Rebellion, where he thought mana was weeds and got sick and died like an asshole.
Yeah.
Eating weeds.
Or, like sailors at sea, it's like, how'd you guys survive that 40-year-long trek? It rained bread. Aren't there like 100 less of you? It rained bread.
Rain, yep, bread.
It rained bread.
It's bread.
Yep. We didn't eat anyone.
Wow, you guys must have been so horny. It rained women.
Oh, my God.
What? It rained bread and women.
Don't
we didn't
worry
eat
about
or
it.
fuck any of each other.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
You got to think, though, a loaf went through somebody's skull.
Yeah. You can't just fall from that. Like a
Just
baguette.
dome somebody.
A baguette will absolutely go right through you.
From the sky?
Yes.
That's a missile, dude.
Yeah.
A French baguette?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hard ends.
If it's a day old, you're dead.
yeah.
You're
Moses'
vapor.
like right-hand man just got evaporated.
Why do you think we don't leaven it?
Oh, fair.
Discs are, well, that's just a buzzsaw.
Well, it floats though. No,
Yeah. Oh, it's like a leaf.
Yeah.
It's a leaf. All right.
Full liquid.
Full bottom of the of the iceberg now. Electric universe is at the tip of the bottom. This is the very
We're at the
bottom.
base.
We're at the
Okay.
base. We're going to talk about Saturn plays an important part in the electric universe conspiracy. Someone went further. Now we have the Saturn storm cube conspiracy.
Storm what? Cube?
Storm cube conspiracy.
Okay.
Now, if you look, so a lot of people talk about Jupiter and its red eye storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saturn has a storm as well, and this is true. The thing I'm about to talk about, the storm on Saturn, is a very real thing. It is a hexagonal black storm at its pole. It's fucking cool looking. Like it's a giant black hexagon at the pole of Saturn.
Okay. The Pope hasn't told me that, but
Yeah, look it up. The Saturn storm cube
I don't
conspiracy.
think
the
you don't
Pope.
have the updated projections.
yeah, I'll ask the Pope if that's what you mean by look it up.
Yeah,
not this Pope though. This Pope's a little
No,
too
ask
liberal.
ask
Hey,
Benedict.
yeah, he'd be
Benedict
all like,
would know.
He'd be all like, maybe
Benedict would know because he was in the Hitler Youth and probably was in on some of this.
all
weird-
this stuff.
Yeah.
He met aliens.
Well, this theory posits that Saturn is associated with darker malevolent forces and it's linked to a mysterious. So the hexagonal storm, you're actually just seeing the 2D of it from that far away when we're
Okay.
observing it. It's actually a giant cube that's rotating.
Great.
Okay.
And this is a generator by the aliens or interdimensional beings
Great.
that harnesses the Louch that is generated on Earth.
Makes sense.
And
Most of space.
this
is-
gets into
Louch travels like that, huh?
yeah, because
Well-
the universe is electric, right?
well, most of the universe is black matter, no,
Dark matter.
or dark matter. We don't really know what it is.
Dark matter's in theory still. We don't. It is unknown matter.
It's like a black hole. It's like black holes before they actually saw one, where it's like
Right.
mathematically it has to exist, but
we
we
have
haven't-
to have some other constant.
but we haven't
Yeah.
observed it.
Yeah, it's
yet.
just Louch,
Right.
dude.
yeah.
But yeah, so this cube is harnessing all the Louch on Saturn. Saturn's a part of our ancient past. The aliens and the elites are that's the universal truth of the Illuminati and Freemasons is this Saturn connection with Earth, right? So we need to create suffering and concentrate, yada yada, in order to create Louch energy to send to Saturn. And what does Saturn do? It propagates and keeps alive
Do you think that's
the
why meat?
the holographic universe.
Do you think that's why meat tastes so good? Animal Louch.
suffering?
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
Like I've always noticed how free range chicken doesn't taste as good.
No, I like that anxiety
Oh
chicken.
boy.
Dude, give me some Popeyes.
Louch breast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Deep fried Louch breast.
I'm sorry, when you see those like Tyson chickens with like 9 breasts and 6
Oh,
thighs
God.
and they're just dragging
just
their
born
skulls on the
horrified.
ground. Yeah.
Yep.
They're born only knowing
I mean,
fear.
that's why veal tastes so
Yes.
tender. And
Absolutely.
Oh.
But interestingly enough, Saturn has
so
historically
we have you
Go ahead.
turning now?
Yeah, he's getting there.
Well, if
I think if meat's the turning point for you.
yeah, it might be. Don't eat Louch on Fridays, though.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't have Louch on
Fish
Fridays.
fish don't have Louch.
No, they don't.
Fish don't
Yeah.
make Louch because they're part of the alien race. Fish
Probably,
don't have
yeah,
Louch,
yeah.
Well,
for
squid
sure.
is almost certainly.
But yeah, Saturn has historically been associated with time, death, and karma. Obviously, the planets
Historically by who? What, like fucking Hindus or something? Or
well, you talk about Kronos in Greek mythology. He is Saturn, who's often portrayed as a devourer of children, symbolizing destruction and rebirth. The black cube is a recurring symbol in various cultures and contexts, including the Kaaba in Mecca.
Yep.
And the cube of Metatron in Jewish mysticism. If you ever look at certain Jewish, I forget which holiday it is, but they wear a little black cube on their head.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's one of the Orthodox things.
What do you
They
think's
do.
in that cube in Mecca?
It's a piece of asteroid or
Yeah, yeah.
meteorite.
Yeah.
Like actually?
No,
Yes.
it is. It's
Yeah.
actually a meteorite. Yeah, a meteorite piece.
That's kind of sick.
It's dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
They don't go in there, though. They just walk around it.
Right.
Some people go in there
I don't think anyone goes in there.
to feed it. But
This is where we get back to Big J conspiracy, because in the conspiracy theory, the black cube represents control, confinement, and manipulation of reality. So we're going back to full
how?
circle.
Why? What?
The Jews have the black cube. What is a cross but an unrolled cube? If you take a cube
Mm.
of paper segments and unroll it.
So it's like a black tesseract.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's a hypercube basically. Yeah.
Oh, now who's bringing up comic book movies?
Well, it actually is applicable there, so it's like really easy to see.
I think that metaphor fell as flat as the DCU.
I'll throw this at you.
So, where is this all going? Right? Where is this all going? The only way I can do it is basically the universe, including human existence, is a holographic projection where all information is encoded in a boundary. We're on a prison planet, basically.
What?
We're in hell.
Oh.
That's where everyone kind of gets at the end of this. It goes all the way back to what are we talking about? The Gnostics were right.
Hell's pretty
Dope.
sweet.
Dope.
Yeah.
But you're not with God. We are basically all of these conspiracies. If you follow this ladder all the way down, it always ties right back to Gnosticism.
Mm-hmm.
We're on a prison planet. We're constantly in a karmic retribution
There's a lot of like
cycle.
spiritual things about it too that
It's cherry picking every single theology.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, there's similar stories and stuff, but like that doesn't
Yeah, it's
necessarily.
building a fucking Voltron of random beliefs.
It's a sick story.
you got to throw a wide net.
yeah.
It's theological, cosmological, interstellar fanfic at this point.
Which is fun.
It's fun as fuck. That's
Yeah.
why I like reading it. But yeah, the ultimate end of it is that
You need Jesus.
you need Jesus. That's the end of it.
Y'all
The
need
end of it,
Jesus. Is the whole,
Jesus
is the
was
end
trying-
of the conspiracy theory.
What they all get back to is that Jesus was trying to warn us that this is all just a material world that is made to make us suffer, just like the Buddha was telling us. So through all this bullshit, what did we learn? You could have just went to church and learned the same fucking lesson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is religion with a million fucking steps. But yeah, it ties back to Gnostic teachings of this is a material world that is away from God, that we are being contained in by shitty overlords or archons. This
Yeah.
is all the
This
dumb
is
shit.
this is one reason I actually really like being Catholic. It's one reason I respect like Judaism and other ancient religions a lot. Is that they've had thousands of years of the smartest people on earth thinking about this stuff and writing it down, and it become, you know what I mean?
That's
And
how
then-
canon works.
Yeah, and then these asshole. I'm not saying it's all true or anything like that, or certainly like what, but like in terms of like broad philosophy, they've been thinking about it deeply. I'm talking the smartest people: St. Augustine, St. Thomas More, Jewish guys I never heard of, but like seriously, like smart Jewish scholars, even smart Islamic scholars. Like
Yeah.
they've all, and obviously Buddhists, so that like they've all literally put so much fucking thought into just the meaning of existence, and that's even before you get into like philosophers and Descartes, you know, stuff like that. And then it's like these guys are like, hold on, wait, like trying to like pep. It's just
He wrote it in 91.
Okay, the first half of the episode after Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, that is no longer Bill Cooper.
They built off it.
It's all just a big like, oh, you took a big shit there. It's like basically like if the Tower of Babel was a giant shit tower.
yeah,
And
giant tower of terrible ideas.
yeah, basically, right? Like it's just like let's keep shitting on top of this shit until we get a shit tower.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I mean that's basically like that's what I've gotten so far from all the dumb shit I look at before I write up my own episodes.
I don't think it's dumb. I think Rob's going to feel like a real dickhead when he gets to the afterlife and is like, Jake was right.
I will be welcomed with open arms into my Illuminati lounge in the fourth dimension.
Well, the 5D.
Well, the Black Lodge,
Yeah, I joined.
Yeah.
I joined.
that's cool.
I'm in.
Yeah, but
He's
you
in
only
it
got
too,
to
though.
the 40.
You got to get to 5D, dog.
I'm
Actually, get to 10D.
Upgrade.
I haven't tithed enough yet.
Have you? If fun video if you're really high. Carl Sagan's 10 Dimensions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a thought experiment to help you visualize what 10 dimensions would look like. Like if you go from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7. Yeah. It gets into multiverse and stuff like that. It's really cool. But yeah, that's the stuff I look at instead of doing my actual research when I'm like high and I'm like, I'm not ready to write about like Napoleon's dick
You
yet.
just gotta get deep into the fucking gnarliest shit.
And that's why he's becoming an oyster farmer.
yeah, simple
Yeah.
life.
I'm unplugging.
Yeah.
I just want to
Or maybe he knows something we don't, Rob. Maybe those oysters. They have all the louche.
It is
They've been
interesting.
talking.
Do they have a lot of louche? You know, it looks a lot like a UFO,
An oyster.
a closed oyster.
Mm.
What if they're all just combining, shooting around?
And I mean, you crack it open and eat it. It says,
Suffering.
Do you eat it?
You eat it alive.
Or does it implant within you?
You guys know too much.
we uncovered
guys
the
know too
real
much.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you do eat oysters alive, which is pretty fun. But yeah, no, so that was fun for me just to talk about all that bullshit, make you guys sit through it. Be sure to join the Patreon too, because we're gonna
To
do
find
a Catholic
out
quiz.
who's the better Catholic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
We knew this was coming. I did not study.
Yeah,
Did you?
I was in Vegas. No.
Did you?
No.
Okay.
And also,
You didn't go to. You didn't go to the Vatican Casino.
The Venetian.
Yeah. That'd be sweet. There's like so many casinos that like Caesar's Palace. That'd be sweet if there was just like St. Peter's. I'm trying to think of a play on Basilica. Just St. Peter's Casino. That's just
Basilica
it's just,
Casino.
Yeah, it's just St. Peter's Basilica, but it's a casino. I would go to that.
There's like the fucking the atom painting
Yeah.
in the top. That would be dope. I would go to that casino
Every fucking waitress is a nun, but like a hot nun,
or a hot nun,
like a slutty nun.
Did they have
or
that?
a hot Swiss guard.
They have that.
What?
It's called Circus.
Mm.
That's what the Third Reich would be every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they won the war. I'm not gonna ask what you learned today because that'd be dumb. What was your favorite part of it?
What do you mean? I learned so much.
You shouldn't have learned
I
anything
learned
because it's all
about the
fake.
afterlife and what the meaning of our current journey is.
Yeah, for sure. What'd you learned that. You learned the life, or you learned about
I just
life,
connected
the universe,
dots,
and
dude.
everything.
My favorite thing that I learned is that they think that that there's like a karmic contract where like they have to tell us a little bit. They have to. Why?
Because then they go to hell. It's like, wait, but they
But-
control hell. Like,
yeah, what?
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? They control hell. They're in.
Feels like a plot hole.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, there was a plot hole in that? Like,
No, dude, I think they're just fucking hot dogging it. I think they're just hiding in plain sight.
I personally think.
Just kind of doing the DX suck.
Yeah, that's a better explanation. Is hot dogging it.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're just doing it to throw it in your face and
Yeah.
laugh at you. Yeah, absolutely.
And nothing you can do about it, Rob.
What I personally believe, though, is that you make your own reality. Like, if you think everything sucks, everything's going to suck. If you think everything's great, everything's going to be great. It's really about perspective. The only alchemy in the world is your ability to control your reaction to things. Like, gold is what you make it, right? Like, if you have a shitty situation, you can find a silver lining, then, yeah, that's alchemy, right? You're turning shit into gold. But you don't even know it's shit.
Okay, now let's say, hypothetically, your reality, randomly, just any of us, is you're working a oyster cage.
You work in an oyster cage.
No, you're clearing it out, flipping
Okay.
it, and a saltwater croc pops out and rips you under. Can you
Mhm.
remake that reality?
You can't remake it, but I think you can frame it. Like, one, you're one of the first people ever to see a saltwater croc, like, while doing oyster work in that
In
area.
Florida,
In
yeah.
Florida, yeah.
Typically an alligator.
Yeah, typically an alligator.
But
In the
saltwater
ocean?
croc.
Saltwater croc. There's some caimans and stuff that get pretty far. Like, you have to go pretty far south in Florida. I think you have to go down by, like, Key Largo to even see them. But there are saltwater crocs that pop up, I think, in very, very South Florida. But yeah, no, I mean, like, but I also was doing something I wanted to do when I got. And I got taken by the ocean, man. It's back to where we're from, you know?
It's fair.
Do you know that whales are the only animal that originally that went onto land and then went back?
Yeah, they're like, this sucks.
And they're like, fuck Earth. Like, going back to water.
They're like dumb little rat deer.
Who's Hitler?
I guess not Hitler.
Nah,
Or maybe he was. He's just a pawn,
he's a pawn.
like the rest of us.
Yeah, every religion's been infiltrated by the aliens
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
so, you know.
I guess the aliens, the fourth dimensional beings,
Yeah.
they're the ones that are like,
But is it us?
they're
Are
like,
we
yeah,
Hitler?
they're the ones that are like, hey, I know we live in the fourth dimension, and couldn't possibly have a worry in the world.
Again, no one
But,
lives in the 4D.
Fifth dimension, whatever, the
mhm,
dimensional
mhm.
beings.
The 4D is just a plane. Actually, 4D is like kind of in theory, yeah, it is just the plane, and then
It's a buffer.
5D beings operate within 4 dimensions.
Okay, so
yeah,
they're four dimensional beings or live in the fifth dimension.
no, 5th dimensional beings operate in the 4th dimension.
Whatever. Anyway, I like how they just like live in heaven, and they're like, hey, crash the housing market in 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like what I would care about in heaven.
The other schism of that is just like the 4th dimensional beings or whatever they are, 5th, are just mods in like we're the Sims.
Yeah.
And they're just having funsies. They're like, we gotta get
That
the
makes-
fucking like
makes
this
the
game's
most
getting
sense.
boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me for main episodes ever. Unless everything falls apart. and I move back.
Forever.
Oh,
Well,
we'll
or
see in
you're
6
back.
months, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or if you just like are back in Austin and you want to pop on.
I'm gonna give one last note here. Just looking at the camera, spiking it. Yeah, This has been the most fun I've ever had with something I've created with you guys, and I really fucking enjoyed it. I'm super excited that it's been successful without any sort of outside company doing anything to it. It's been just us this whole time, and I hope you guys fucking crush it and continue to grow it. And you're welcome for the fucking salary bump. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for that. I'm also going to take offense that Substog wasn't the most rewarding.
Substock was fun, but it was a
creative
Grand
thing
X
you've ever done.
subsidiary. That was a Grand X subsidiary. So Substock was great. I really loved Substock too. I even liked what was it? What was our other unofficial visit?
Yeah.
I liked Unofficial Visit a lot. We got some good people on that. But yeah, no, I truly loved doing every single episode of these. I get to see two of my best friends whenever I do it, and it's been a total joy. So thanks so much, guys, for having me be a part of this. I'm going to miss you both very dearly. And listeners, you can find me at Jake W. Goldman, any social media platform.
Find them on the farms.
You can find me on the Oyster Farm, and I love you all. Thank you so much for your support, and thanks for all the kind words too that people have been sending in the DMs and the support that you've been giving me. Like, I know I don't respond to everything, but I see it, and it means a lot. So,
You're not responding. You don't even have a job.
I know. I've been busy packing and like getting my life in order for the last fucking God.
Because he's about to
6
have
months.
a job.
Yeah.
A hard one. But yeah, yeah, the oyster plantation, dude. The Jake's oyster plantation. It's not even mine. But yeah, that's it for me. So
Jake, I'll let you do it.
for Danner Jester and Rob Fox, I'm Jake Goldman. You just got soft served.